Hello to everyone. In this function series, now this is the eighth lecture and the third sections of function, that what you call also part C. So in this part C, what we will do, we will discuss the more about function and by the using the applications of graphs which we have discussed earlier. So now let's start. Before starting, let me go for the definition of the function. What is function? So the definition of the function, as I have already told, the literal meaning of the function is its self-definition. But what will the definition of this definition means? Definition of this function. So let's say about function. What do you say? Function can be defined as to every element in the domain there exists unique image in codomain. Generally, we write f such as a to b. You have to notice here that capital A and capital B can be written over here. Small a, small b are not in tradition to write because capital A and capital B, capital letters are only assigned for to represent set. So f such as a to b and is read as f maps from a to b, and this correspondence is denoted by y equal to fx, such that a and b are two non-empty sets, so that to every element of a there exists one and only one. That the word means unique. Here for this we can use unique. Unique image means one element in b, one and only one element in b. Note point is there from definition it follows that there may exist some elements in B which may not have any corresponding elements in set A, but there should not be any x left elements of A, mean for which there is no element in the set B. So this denotes the function. Let's check the pictorial diagram. Here we have drawn four relations between A and B. A maps to B like four different order, in which if you see first two of them are function and next two of them are not function. Why so here? Because first and second follows the definition of the function. What is the definition of function? Every element should has a unique image, and if you see in the first and second, then you find the image of A is 1 in both of them. In first one, the image of B and C are 3 and 2 respectively, whereas here B and C have only one image. So this is a constant type function, you can say also, and here it maps all the elements in the domain are mapped to 1, but 2 and 3 are not participating. As you know, this what we call here, this is the range of 1, 2, 3. What we say here, 1, 2, 3 is the range of this function. So if we say a range of this function, that is 1, 2 and 3 for this one. Okay. And what about this one? Here the range of function, if you say, then this is only one element, singleton set element here. But if you participate in 2 and 3 also, then that we say codomain of B. Codomain of B is 1, 2 and 3 here. But you know that 2 and 3 elements are not mapped with any one A, B, C. But every element in the domain sets are used. So what we discussed earlier in the note point, what we say in the previous page, that what we say that every element in the domain set should has a unique image, but every element in the codomain set, it is not necessary that have a pre-image there. Whereas A, B, C are here called pre-images, and 1, 2, 3 are called images of these values in the domain. So every elements of the domain should has to be engaged with some elements, but it is not necessary that every element in the codomain is also engaged with any with any or all the elements of B, A, B, C. As you know, here more than one elements can be mapped with single elements also, but you say that one element in the domain set may have more than one pre-images, as if you see in the fourth part, fourth section, this one, that what we say here, A is mapped with 1 and B is mapped with 2. A is mapped with 1 also and A is mapped with 2 also. Okay. So this will not allowed in the case of function. What do you say? Here, if you see in the fourth case, then this is not the function. So here, why third and fourth are not function? First of all, fourth, the reason of fourth is not the function, that A has more than one images, right? And you see that here C hasn't any image in this one, third one. In third one, C does not have any image in B, but A can't have two image here, because A has image 1 and image 2. So here it is violating the rule of unique image, and here it is violating the rules of definition of the function, which is not allowed, as C should has image any one, any of 1, 2, 3. But from the codomain 1, 2, 3 element, which is, it is not necessary that every element has some pre-image there. So this is so we can say third and fourth are not the part of function. So what we say, function can't be multi-valued. A mapping that is multi-valued is called relation from A to B. So third and fourth are relation, not a function. Okay. Now, how to test whether the relation is a function or not? So let's say a relation graphic, if we check this graphically, then what we conclude, that a relation F A to B, what we say, A map to B. So you have to understood about when we say A to B, that is A map to B. A relation F, so that A map to B is a function or not, can be checked by a graph of the relation. If it is possible to draw a vertical line in domain which cuts the given curve at more than one point, then the given relation is not a function. And when this vertical line, means parallel to y-axis, cuts the curve at one and only one point, mind this point, and this one and only one pertains to unique image. This is also called unique. Let me write unique image. Then it is called a function. So what we conclude that here, let me give the idea here to draw the graphs, and then we go ahead. So come on the board, let's draw the graph here. So let this be x-axis, and this what you call y-axis. Let's say this is y equal to fx any curve. Okay, so if we draw a line parallel to y-axis, you can draw anywhere, here, or anywhere. If it cuts function at one single point here, if any of the line which is parallel to y-axis, it cuts a single point here, this is some error, you can erase this, and you can draw some another line as like this one. Here it is intersecting. Where it is intersecting, let me mark these points, this point, here this point, here this point, here these points. So these marked points are one single point for one particular line. So this is a function. So we write, yes, it is a function. It is a function, It is a function. Okay. But if you say graph goes like this way, let me note on the graph like this way. So let this be x-axis, and this what you call y-axis, and draw the x-axis, draw with some other color like this one. So let's say draw a line parallel to y-axis over here. So here if we draw the curve like this, let this be x-axis, this what you call y-axis, and here function is like this way, suppose, let this be y equal to g of x, be any function. And now draw a line parallel to y-axis. As if you see here it cuts several different points, not only one point. Here it consists several different points. This one, this one, this one. For this particular xi, we find different values of y over here. So lot of images are there. For single x means here it is violating the unique image concept. It violates unique image concept, unique image concept, right? So that is why it is not a function. So what we conclude over here, that here we say it is not a function. It is not a function, you say here. So it violates the definition of function. So in the graphical approach, what we conclude, that if we draw a line parallel to y-axis, if it cuts at single point on the curve, then it is a function, and if it cuts more than one point, then that curve is not said to be the function. Okay, so let's take some example over here. Here in this case, if you see that, so here if you see that in graph 1 and graph 2, what we find, as we are drawing a line parallel to y-axis, here it is not a function. Here this one, it is not a function. In this also it is not a function. But what we say about this one, here what we find in third graph and fourth graph, it is a function. So okay, so this is the function, what we say here. Check whether, now let's take a question. Check whether the function following relations are function or not. First, y equal to x square, r to r. Second question, y equal to ln x, r to r. Y equal to ln x 0 to infinity, map to capital R. Y equal to ln x 0 to infinity, open interval, map to R. Y equal to ln x 1 to infinity, map to 0 to infinity. Y equal to tan x 0 to pi, arrow R. Y equal to tan x 0 to pi by 2, union pi by 2 to pi, arrow R. So what we conclude here, the one of the part is the domain, and that is mapped to the codomain. It is given over here. So you have to say, check whether it is following the definition of the function or not. So let's check one by one and draw the graph, and you have to go for every domain also. As you see here, y equal to x square. Let me compile over here that y equal to x square. As you see, y equal to x square here, y equal to x square, this graph, right? And here what we say here, r to r means domain is also r and range is also r. So if you draw a line parallel to x-axis at any domain, you will find that there is a what we say only one intersecting point is there. So what we say, it is a function. Yes, this one is a function. Now check the second question, y equal to ln x, r to r. If you see y equal to, as here f such as r to r, right? And here that is y equal to ln x. So if we draw the graph of y equal to ln x, what we call here, this is the graph of ln x, this is 1, 0. Although ln x is defined only for positive real number, but here you see the domain is all real number what we consider. So what we have to test for graphical approach. For graphical approach, if we draw a line parallel to y-axis as blue line, this one, so it cuts at one point. So it infers then it is a function. But for this domain R, as here the domain is R given, so you have to draw a line parallel to y-axis here also. So that is the point to be noted over here. Here, as it doesn't cut the curve, so what we conclude, that it is not a function. Not a function. Okay. So it is not a function. Fine. So this types of questions to be noted over here. Now, so this one second we can cross. This is not a function. If we say a third one, once again, that is due to this one 0, that is close interval. Here once again at 0, ln x non-defined. So if we draw a line, it just it cuts up to minus infinity. So we can't say that is a function. So this is also not a function. Here y equal to ln x 0 to infinity, it is a monotonically increasing function. Yes, this is a function. Y equal to ln x 1 to infinity to 0 to infinity. Let's see, 1 to infinity to 0 to infinity. What we say here? 1 to infinity to 0 to infinity, right? To here, let's say 0 to infinity. And okay, perhaps it is close interval. So, and this is y equal to ln x. Let's say this is x-axis, this is x-axis, this is y-axis here, and here draw the graph y equal to ln x, and here this is the point 1 to infinity. 1 to infinity means beyond 1 comma 0. Okay, so from 1 comma 0 the result will be 0 to infinity. Yes, it's okay. So draw a line parallel to y-axis. If it cuts at one point, then it is, yes, it is okay, it is a function. Here it is a function. Okay, so this is, yes, it is a function. It is a function, you can say. So this one is also a function. This one is correct. Y equal to tan x 0 to pi to r. If you see tan x, that is 0 to pi to r. So if you draw the graph over here, tan x 0 to pi, let's draw the graph. As you all know, you can draw the graph over here. Here you see y equal to tan x from 0 to pi to r, means domain is 0 to pi, close interval we have to draw. So we have to draw the graph of tan x between 0 to pi, close interval. This is, let's say, 0, and this is somewhere here, that is pi, right? And here somewhere, that is pi by 2. Pi by 2 you have to write down like this way, pi by 2. At pi by 2, that is the asymptote behavior. So the graph goes like this way, tan x, and the graph goes like this way. But at 0 to pi by 2, this pi at 0 to pi means 0 and pi are close interval, 0 to pi to be included, and pi by 2 is also to be by default included, because we have to consider domain between 0 to pi. But as at pi by 2 you find there is a discontinuity in the graph here, and at pi by 2 there is a, if you draw the line vertical line here on the pi by 2 at x equal to pi by 2 here, you find no intersecting point is there. So we conclude that it is not a function. So it is not a function. Okay, so this one is also wrong over here. It will not set to be function if you verify. But here in the, that is written like this way, 0 to pi by 2 open interval. Yes, it is a function. This fulfills the definition of the function. Let's see about this one. What the graph? Let me verify it with the help of graphs. You see y equal to x square once again. So this is the solution over here. So y equal to x square, here this is the graph r to r. We are drawing the line parallel to y axis. You see y equal to x square, this is a function, yes. And if you see second part, y equal to ln x, but here domain is r, and range is, here it is given that range is also r. Let me note where the problem arises here. Domain is r over here. So if we draw lines, these such lines, line which is in negative region, that is, it doesn't intersect this ln x graph, so it is not a function, you know. So what about this one, third part? If you see ln x 0 to infinity, once again the point is x equal to 0 is the problem here. So x equal to 0 doesn't have any image in this ln x here, so this is also not a function. This is also not a function. Note on this point, this is also not a function of what I told over there. So you see here, fourth question, y equal to ln x. Yes, here if you see 0 to infinity open interval to r, yes, x is greater than 0, line has intersection with curve at only one point. Whenever you draw a line parallel to x-axis, several lines you can draw everywhere, wherever there is, you find here, this is the domain in the question it is given over there. In the question it is given 0 to infinity open interval. So wherever in the positive region, if you draw a line parallel to y-axis, it cuts at single point, at only with a single point. So this is a function. So yes, this is a function, this one is a function. And here what we say, here what we call in first question y equal to ln x, once again 1 to infinity. But here what the problem is there, I didn't saw that 0 to infinity. In the range 0 to infinity, that should be closed interval. Here there is an open interval, you know. So as ln x corresponding to this point 1, that is not 0 over here. This one as 0 is not mentioned. 0 is, there is an open interval. So drawing this line which cut at point 1, it doesn't gives any image over here in the range, in the codomain segment. In the codomain is 0 to infinity is also only there, but for ln x corresponding to 1, that is the value is 0. 0 is not absent over here, so that's why it is not a function. But if you say y equal to tan x 0 to pi, here once again at x equal to pi by 2, function is undefined, so here it is not a function. Okay, fine. So this is not a function. One more question was there. But we see here that tan x 0 to pi by 2 to pi, that is r. So only this one, this is set to be a function because pi by 2 we are not considering in the domain. So that's why this is a function. So let's see what is important terms of domain, range and codomain. In important terms, that is domain, range and codomain. As far as we have discussed, that domain are the sets, elements in the sets which are allowed for the function. What the feasible values which are allowed for any machine, which is also called input in somehow, that is called domain. And what the result is output of this particular domain, that is range. As far as we have discussed about range and domain, that for particular domain, if some outcomes is not there, then we can't say that even it function exists. So to existence of function, for every domain there should be a unique image that will become a range. But if this is not exist, means the element which hasn't any pre-image in the any function, that including the range, that is called codomain. So if a function f defined from a set A to set B, then from f such as A to B, set A is called the domain of the function, and f the set B is called codomain of the function f. The set of all f images of the element A is called the range of function f. Domain, that is all possible values of x for which fx exists, in a range for all the possible values of fx, that is the range. So this is the model of the function you can see over here. So here if we consider a set A and set B, set A consists the elements small a, small b, small c, small d, and set B consider some element, set B consists some element, that is p, q, r, s, and let f be the letter denoted by the function. So f is the function as A images to B, and B maps to Q, C maps to R, as well D maps to S. So A is the domain set and B is the codomain set, including the element P, Q, R, S. But if you consider the element from P, Q, R only this much, P, Q, R, here you have to ignore this X. If you ignore this S and only P, Q, R this part, then this is called a range of the function. This is the range of the function P, Q, R only. So basically range is the subset of the codomain, you can say. So what is, now here we say a number of function. What is number of function? Let x, capital X and capital Y be two finite sets having m elements and n elements respectively. Then each elements of set X can be associated to any one of n elements of the set Y, so that total number of functions from the set x to the set y is called n to the power m. N to the power m, that is the number of function. This number of function can also be discussed by taking some examples. If you this one correlate with PNC chapter, then what we say like this, we take some example over. In this section, we will discuss one function and many-one function and also the difference between them. So let's start one function with its definition. A function f such that A maps to B is said to be a 1-1 mapping or injection if different elements of set A having different images in B. Thus, no two elements of the set A can have same f image. Let A is not equal to B. This implies f of A is not equal to f of B. For all A, B belongs to capital A, for fa is equal to fb, this implies A minus B. For all A belongs to, means A equal to B. You can correct over here. So that is A equal to B, we say. Here you have to make the correction. A equal to B. Let me make the correction. That is here we say A equal to B in this case, when FA equal to FB. Here what B implies. So instead of this A and B, we have to make A equal to B. For all A B belongs to capital A. So let's see here that the two sets A and B, capital A and capital B, are such that capital A consists the elements A1, A2, A3, A4, and capital B is the elements here B1, B2, B3, so on. So A1 map to B1, B2 over here, A3 map to B1, whereas A2 map to B4 and A4 map to B3. If you mind this point, here in each and every elements in the domain set has a unique image in the set B, one and only one image in the set B. Of course, this is for function, but here if you say every element in the set B also has one pre-images, it's okay. Here also in the second diagram also, let me remove this. So in the second part, what we see, x1 has image y2, x2 has image y1, x3 has image y2. If you see over here, then what we see, that y2 is the image of x1 and x3 both, right? So is this a function 1-1? No, it's not a 1-1 function. It is many-one function due to this one. If you see this part here, if you consider this part, that x1 and x3, x1, you see here x1 and x3. Here there is y1 element, y2 element is there. So this one is not the many-one function. Yes. How to decide whether many-one mapping is 1-1 function or many-one function? To difference between many-one and 1-1 function, here there are 2-3 approaches. So first of all, that is a theoretical approach. We'll discuss some numericals also later on, but first let's understand its approaches. So theoretical, or you say analytical approach also. Take two arbitrary elements x1 and x2 in the domain of F. Okay, in the set A, capital A. Operate fx1 equal to fx2. Now step 3, that is solve fx1 equal to fx2. If fx1 equal to fx2 gives x1 x2, means you have to assume according to as per function this statement fx1 equal to fx2, and if on solving this, if it provides x1 to x2, here x1 equal to x2 you say, here, that is x1 equal to x2, right? Here what we say, x1 equal to x2, here that is. So if we get x1 equal to x2, then we can say this function is 1 1, otherwise this function is said to be many one, right? So where this is a theoretical approach basically, because every elements in the domain set has one image, and every element in the codomain set means has only one unique pre-image also, no more than one pre-images. So to avoid this, we have to go start from codomain section. Means if it is two ranges are there, you have to consider two elements from ranges, and if its corresponding elements, if these ranges are also, means these elements which are in the range are not equal, then their corresponding elements of the from the domain are also not equal, and if they are equal, then their corresponding element in the domain is also equal. This is a basically theoretical approach here. So graphically, how to tackle this question? So somehow you can do this approach also for question, but generally if you have a sound knowledge of graph, then immediately you can within 1-2 step drawing the graph, and you can declare whether the function is 1 1 or many one. So let's discuss how to check graphically. So step 1, draw the graph of function in domain and codomain. Means in the question it will be given what is domain and what is codomain. Now draw a horizontal line. If the horizontal line cuts the graph at most one point, then the function is 1 1, else it is many one. So I will discuss this in detail. Let me jump on the how to draw the graph, and I will take some examples over here that the function is 1 1 or many one. It may be 1 1 or many one in the under different situation. Function sometimes likes to be many one, but under the consideration of domain and codomain, you have to go for 1 1 and many one according to as per instruction what the given in the question. So anyhow, later on we'll go for graphically approach. Come to the calculus approach. First, let me complete this theory. So calculus approach, here what we say, if dy by dx first derivative with respect to derivative of y with respect to x, WRT means with respect to x, means you have to find the first derivative. And if dy by dx is, you say positive here, dy by dx here, you say this is positive, suppose. Positive means the function is strictly increasing. Here the positive means function is strictly increasing. You know? So if function is, for function to be 1 1 and 1 1, it should be either decreasing or increasing any. So here dy by dx means positive, that is increasing, and here dy by dx is negative, that it means decreasing function. So function is either increasing or function is either decreasing. In both the cases, function is said to be 1 1, means injective, or else it is many one function, right? So this is a calculus approach, and here we say there are the three different conditions: theoretical approach, graphical approach, and calculus approach. And now let's do some take some example to understand the idea. So for the here we will discuss 1 1 function by graphical approach or many one. So how to discuss 1 1 or many one function? So let's say f such as here a to b. Let's say a and arrow here, that is b is there. So a is the domain set and b is the codomain set. So let's say a is the element where it is defined for x-axis, and here it is y-axis. Let's say this is x-axis, this what you call y-axis, and here suppose the function is there, that is somehow let's say y equal to fx, y equal to let's say fx. Okay, so what we say here, if we draw the graph, if we draw the range here, that it means if we draw a line parallel to x-axis, if it cuts at one single point, then it says the function is 1 1 function, otherwise it is many one function. Let's say we take some example over here, that what we say here, let's say this is x-axis and this what you call y-axis. In certain domain, if the function goes like this way, suppose some this type of nature is the function, And here the intervals are discussed as, let this be x1, and here let's say this is x2, and let's say this be x3. So corresponding to x3, these values here it consists y3, corresponding to x1 here say let this be y1, y2, and x1 let's say this is y1. Okay, so let this be y1 and this be y2. So if we say here somehow the function, let's say we take here some so if we have a question like this way, if f such as means okay x1 to x2, x1 to x2 to y1 to y2, y1 to y2, if it is asking like this way. And here if I say then whether the function is 1 1 or not for this very. So what you will consider between x1 to x2 means within this interval, if you draw anywhere line parallel to x-axis, it cuts at single point. Okay, you can check over here. Here it cuts at single point. So this is say here in this section function is 1 1. Okay, so if I ask here somehow that let's say okay, if I ask like this way, f such as x1 to x3 here, or you let take x2 to x3. Okay, here let's say this is f and arrow that is y2 to y3, y2 to y3 here. So between x2 to x3 the results are y2 to y3, corresponding to x2 to x3, y2 to y3. So if we draw any line between this interval, so it gets several parts, this point, you say this point, 4 different points they are intersecting. So here this is not 1 1, this is not 1 1, you know, this is not 1 1. So if it is not 1 1, then what is it? That is, of course this will be many 1. You say here this will be many 1. We write many 1. So this is the point here over here. So first dy by dx bracket first derivative of y with respect to x, and if dy by dx is positive then function is increasing, and dy by dx is negative then function is decreasing. Then mapping is 1 1 injective, and or otherwise it is said to be not injective, or you say many 1 function. So in this such a situation, this approach is good only for function is continuous in nature, or some functional, especially polynomial function, or some transcendental functions also, or any function. If the graph is not predictable easily, then we can use this calculus approach. So in such a situation, but if somehow just like piecewise discontinuous function or some other function, as like if it is not defined properly and if the graph is available, then graphical approach is good. But here in trigonometric function, inverse trigonometric or either such, you can use this this one, especially continuity should be there, then you can go for, because if the function is continuous then only it will be differentiable. So differentiability rules will be apply. The compliance is that the function should be continuous. So if it is continuous, then only you can differentiate over that. So as a calculus approach here, by using differentiability test, as we are going for by testing the concept of monotonicity, we are going to declare whether it is 1 1 function or not 1 1 function or many 1 function. So here it should be continuous. That is the main thing is there. So general idea is the graph one is the best, and the theoretical basis, that is of course undoubtedly that is the original method, original thing. But graphical approaches span over throughout every variety of problems. But calculus approach, here you have to be sure that the function should be continuous and differentiable, then only you can differentiate over here for testing the monotonicity. By testing monotonicity, you can declare the function is whether 1 1 or not 1 1, means many 1. So let's take some example to understand. Check whether the following function is 1 1 or many 1. Number one, y equal to, there's a very good problem here, y equal to ln of ln x. Y is equal to, that is ln of ln x, and here the domain is e to infinity and the range is r. That domain is e to infinity. Here, this is the point, and the codomain that is given all real number. So from e to infinity and here r, you have to test whether the function is 1 1 or not. Here we are not going to discuss onto function. Notice this point. Onto into we are not going to discuss. We are going to discuss about 1 1 or many 1. So for 1 1 function, it should be thoroughly increasing or decreasing. Although ln x is throughout increasing function. So ln is self-increasing. So increasing of increasing is increasing, and here also increasing. So directly it's predictable, but from e to infinity you have to test. So now let's start. So if a graphical approach you are going to consider, so as x tends to infinity, ln e tends to 1. So as x tends to e, that is ln e equal to 1. So ln of ln e means ln of ln e, that is 1. No, the value of ln e, that is here, the value of ln e is 1. So ln of 1, that is 0. Ln of 1, that is 0. Ln of 1 equal to 0. So here that will be 0, and ln of ln 0, that is minus infinity. So x equal to e, that is it means as it is in the question, it is given from e to infinity. So from e to infinity means at e, the value is approaching towards minus infinity, and at infinity, that is value is approaching towards infinity. So all real number is to be considered. So at x equal to e, there is a vertical asymptotes. So y equal to 0 occurs at ln of ln x equal to 1, means x equal to e to the power e to power e. So here the function is injective. Undoubtedly the function is injective. So it's okay. Although increasing function was there. Next, take more example. Second question, y equal to 5x cube plus sin x r to r. So let's go for this one first. Another calculus method also later on we'll discuss. Come to this point, y equal to 5x cube plus sin x. To understand this 5x cube plus sin x, if we use the calculus approach, then as calculus approach is applicable wherever this function is continuous and differentiable. So one point to be noted over here, on detail we'll discuss in limit and continuity chapter, LCD chapter, limit, continuity and differentiability, but here note down the theorem is there. Every algebraic, trigonometric, exponential and logarithmic functions are always continuous and differentiable throughout its domain. Okay, so here that is 5x cube. 5x cube is algebraic part. 5x cube is algebra and sin x is trigonometric. So algebraic function is differentiable, trigonometric function is differentiable throughout its domain, and domain is all real number. Undoubtedly sin x is also there. So both of them are differentiable. So here we can use this concept. So simply differentiate this simply. Now you can differentiate it very easily. So differential of 5x cube, that is 3x square, that is 15x square, and sin x differential is cos x. Everybody know. Now you have to check this whether it is increasing or not. So if you see from the graph here I have mentioned the graph 15x square. 15x square is the graph symmetric over y axis, and plus cos x graph, plus cos x, right? To check the this one increase degrees, here you have to check this as so dy by dx is positive always, cos x for 5x square, because x square is value is increasing throughout, right? So 15x square plus cos x is always positive. 15x square is greater than, you just are transposing what we say here, transpose this 15x square and cos x. So if you are going to transpose this cos x, then what we say, 15x square is greater than minus cos x. So here left side graph this one, and right side the graph here, that is minus cos x. The graph is minus cos x. Let me overwrite over here. Minus. So 15x square is always greater than minus cos x. Of course this is injective. So function we can say This is increasing function, right? Now come again to the topic. As the first question, ln of ln x, if we go for, well, as you know, that is, as I told in the theorem, that algebraic, exponential, trigonometric and logarithmic function are continuous and differentiable. Here there is a logarithmic function, so log function, here we can use the differential concept. So it is continuous and differentiable in e to infinity. So we say not checked for differentiation. So second method is, if you differentiate, the differential of ln x is 1 by x. So ln of ln x means ln of ln something. So ln of ln x. So if you differentiate this, then y ln x differential is 1 upon x. So 1 upon ln of ln x, 1 by ln x into 1 by x. This is the differential. As x tends to e to infinity, you see ln x is belongs to 1 to infinity, and ln of ln x belongs to 0 to infinity. So dy by dx is positive, hence function is increasing. So this is also injective function. Let's go for third question. Third question was e to the power x cube minus 3x square plus 2 minus infinity to 1 minus 1 union arrow map to 0 to e power 4. Let's see whether function is 1 1 or not. So x cube minus 3x square plus 2 is, this is quadratic expression. As you know, here this one is quadratic expression. So from minus infinity to 1, minus infinity to minus 1, if you see here, differentiate this as exponential and algebraic function. Both of them are exponential to the power algebraic, means this is continuous and differentiable undoubtedly. So you know, 3x square minus 3 is the differential of this cubic function, and e to power something, the differential is the same, e to power something. So that is the result. And here exponential part is undoubtedly, this is always positive, you know, this part is always positive. So no problem about here, this is always positive, you say. And what about this one, 3x minus 1 into 3x plus 1, as in the given domain, the given domain is minus infinity to minus 1. Minus infinity will be in this minus infinity to minus 1. You have to check x minus 1 into x plus 1. What is the character? Of course, this is positive, you see over here. So hence this is function is also injective, you say. Now fourth question was e to power mod x minus e plus e to power minus mod x, e to power minus x and e to power x. As here mod x is there, so two different cases arises as x negative and x positive. Mod x defines for negative x, that is minus x, for positive x, that is plus x. So wherever there is a mod x, for all negative x, when x is negative here, you see x is negative. When x is negative here, then you have to add every mod x, you have to make minus x. So here that what we consider minus x. For x to be positive, as x to be positive here, so what we say here, that is, so here we have to make x as positive. Okay, so you can make this, and after this related we will get 1 over here, y equal to 1 for x positive. For x negative, that is 2 upon 1 plus, you differentiate this this one, after solving this word we call here 2 upon 1 plus e to power 2x, right, for x negative. So here this is a differentiation, you know, dy by dx. Although it's very easy, that here what we recall over here, here we can, on simple solving we get like this way, that is e to power, let me check this. Here e to power minus x, for e to power minus x you can say 1 upon e to power x over here, right? So here we can write for this very e to power minus x as that is e to power minus x, that will be 2 e to power minus x, okay, upon, and here that what we say e to power 1 upon e to the power that is minus x, e to power x and plus e power x, and here what we say 2 e power minus x is equal to that what we call, if you take e power minus x common over here, then we can say e power minus x common, and here that we can say 1 upon e to the power 2x. So this term is retaliated over here, if you see this term retaliated, and here we find 2 upon 1 plus e power 2x. So if you draw the graph over here 2 upon 1 plus e power 2x, then what we conclude over here, that is 2 upon 1 plus e power 2x, this is the part for x negative over there. And here if you see, later on we'll discuss more about this. So on simple differentiating, as in x positive, that is a y equal to 1. So after the differentiating you will find this is decreasing function, and if you differentiate once more, means for second derivative, you see, let me note down here also. On simply, if you differentiate this properly as dy by dx, we change the color here, as here that is dy by dx, right? So as if you find dy by dx, then you will get negative, and if you find d square y upon dx square, then it's still negative. This infers that here, that is its concavity is downward. Here we say the concavity is here downwards. You see, concavity is downwards. It's the maximum. It's okay. This part is the concavity over here. So this is the graph, and we say as this function is 1 function. Here in negative part it is injective, but if in positive part, as it is a constant function here, so if you draw a line parallel to x-axis, means on the line y equal to 1, then it cuts infinitely many points. So here due to this positive error, it violates the rule, as it is not injective. So finally we can say this is not 1 means it is many 1 function. Okay, fine. Check whether the following function is onto or into. So for onto or in the same situations here, in this what we say here, for onto and into function, let me clarify. So for the function to be onto over here, so if we say let f such as here, that is a to b. So for the function to be onto or into, to test here, it's a very basic thing is there, that codomain is not equal to range, then the function is into function. If the codomain is exactly equal to range of the given function, then the function is onto function. So what the condition is given in the question here, you have to notify where what the codomain is here. Just like in the first question, codomain is all real number r. In the second question also codomain is all real number r, and in the third question also codomain is 0 to e to the power 4. Now you have to test what are these ranges. So if you see in the first question, as far as we are considering when we are dealing with 1 or many 1 function, on solving ln of ln x, then what we got here, the range was that is minus infinity to plus infinity. So in that situation also we have seen already, although we will discuss in detail. So ln of ln x here, if you see e to infinity to r, graphically if you see, the range is capital R, means codomain is capital R, range and codomain are equal, then the function is surjective. And for a special approach, if you see here, limit x tends to 0, ln of ln x. So for when we go for limit x tends to, means here we have to go for x tends to e, right? So as the lower boundary is x equal to e, you see the question, the lower boundary is x equal to e. So here when we go for approaching to e, here approaching means when we will discuss in limit, then we will clarify the concepts here easily, because at the whenever there is an open interval, so in the left boundary we have to consider right limit. So e to right side limit means e to right limit, although at x equal to e, ln x is undoubtedly continuous, So the value of ln e is 1. So here what we get, the ln x value is 1. So after this one means this second one, ln 1 will take 0 value, and ln 0 means right side we have to test here, that is minus infinity. So ln 0, that is minus infinity. So that we say here ln of ln x, ln of ln x is approaches to minus infinity. So at point x equal to e. So when x equal to e, the value is minus infinity, and for approaches to infinity, of course that is infinity. So what we say here, this is the graph here, as we say the range is equal to codomain, the function is surjective. Here ln of ln x is injective as well surjective. On other words, we can say later on this will be bijective. That's okay. Anyhow, come to the point, this one 5x cube plus sin x, that the same question was there for what we see, what we saw this one 5x cube plus sin x, whether it was 1 1 or not. So of course that was 1 1 function, injective function. Now we have to see whether it is surjective. So yes, it is surjective. Why so? Because the range is equal to codomain. What the range was there in the question, if you see here, 5x plus cube plus sin x, then the range was all real number, right? So as x cube part is minus infinity to plus infinity, and here plus sin x, which is the interval line between, that is minus 1 to plus 1. So if you add something between all real number from minus infinity to plus infinity, minus 1 to plus 1, then of course the result will be all real number. So the function is surjective undoubtedly. So it is surjective as well injective. Now come to the third question, that was e to the power x cube minus 3x plus 3. Minus infinity to minus 1 is the domain, and the range is 0 to e to the power 4. So as we know, that is a strictly increasing minus infinity to minus 1, and it is continuous. Hence we can say that is minus infinity to but minus 1, right? But here in the question, what we have considered in the for injective function, that what we were considering, this function was okay, minus infinity to minus 1, fine. So for this very, what we say here, minus infinity to minus 1, that is approaches from 0 to e to the power 4, the range is there, right? So here you say this is continuous, and hence it's map the range, and for end values of domain, if you see, let the test for end values of domain. So minus infinity, right limit means up to approaches to minus infinity. So as cubic function is there, so it approaches to minus infinity. Of course it will be approaches to minus infinity, means every odd degree polynomial, mind this point, every odd degree polynomials, if the coefficient is positive, then whenever it approaches to x to plus infinity, then the result will be plus infinity. Whenever it approaches to result minus infinity, then it will be minus infinity. So e to the power any odd degree polynomial approaches towards minus infinity will approach to minus infinity. So e to the power minus infinity means that is means 1 upon e to the power infinity, and that later will become 0. So the value is 0 here, and x tends to minus 1. Simply put the value minus 1 over here. So minus 1 whole cube, that is minus 1 minus 3, that is plus 3, and that is plus 2. So 3 plus 2, 5, minus 1, 4, that is e to the power 4. So range is 0 to e to the power 4, which is equal to its codomain. So hence it is surjective also. Fine. Now number of onto function, that is the very important to note down. Number of onto function is n to the power m nc1 n to the power m minus nc1 n minus 1 to the power m plus nc2 n minus 2 to the power m minus nc3 n minus 3 to the power m, and so on dot dot dot. If a and b are the two sets having m and n elements respectively, such that n lies between 1 to m, then the number of onto function from a to b is given by this. This is same like it means you have to suppose kept 5 pencils in 3 pencil box. Then what will be the number of function? The number of function is 3 to the power 5. But if 5 pencils are kept in 3 pencil box, so that none of the pencil box remains empty, so at least one pencil you have to kept in each and every pencil box. So from 5 pencils you just please fill each and every pencil box. Every single pencil box will be filled by a single pencil. So one pencil if you fill, now 2 pencil will remain there, and this 2 pencil can be go in first pencil box, either in second pencil box or in third pencil box directly, or 1 pencil in first, second in third, or 1 in first, second in third, and 1 in first one in second and second, 1 in second, and second pencil in third either or first box. Similarly, 1 pencil in third pencil box or second pencil in first or third. Hope so you are getting. Means 3 pencils, 5 pencils are kept in 3 pencil box, so that no pencil box remains empty. That is the same means number of onto function what we were discussing about. So okay, anyhow, so go for bijective. This we have already discussed in permutation combination detail, so no need to discuss more over here. But those students who didn't find the idea of permutation combination over there, so they can ask separately. And let's hop in bijective function. So bijective function is the function where we have actually these all we are preparing for inverse function. So for inverse function, the condition is it should be bijective, and for bijective the function should be onto and 1 means surjective and injective. So what is bijective function? A function f such that a to b is a bijection if it is 1 as well onto, means f such as a to b is a bijection if it is 1 mapping fx equal to fy. This implies x equal to y, which is a theoretical definition of 1 function. It is onto mapping that is y belongs to b, there exists at least one x belongs to a such that fx equal to y. Clearly f is bijection since it is both injective as well as surjective.